Turn your volume down for a second and listen carefully. Because some people swear there's a sound in the air, a low hum, that only a small percentage of humans can hear. And once you hear it, you can't unhear it. In the early 1990s, residents of Taos, New Mexico began reporting the same thing, a deep, persistent drone like a diesel truck that never arrives. But here's what made it terrifying. Most people heard nothing. And the people who did hear it? They described different pitches, roughly 32 to 80 hertz, as if the hum was choosing them. Taos isn't a factory town. It's not surrounded by massive power plants. It's the kind of place people go to hear nothing whined, birds, distant footsteps, which is why the hum felt impossible. Because if you can't find a source, what are you actually hearing? The reports followed a pattern. The hum was worse at night, worse indoors, sometimes worse in cool weather. Some hearers said it felt less like sound and more like pressure, a vibration at the edge of perception. And then came the strangest part. A survey-based estimate suggested only about 2% of people could hear it. 2%. That number turns a noise complaint into a mystery, because it forces a question nobody likes. Is the sound real, or is something happening inside the human ear? Taos didn't just post a sign that said, "Good luck." In spring 1993, a public investigation was coordinated through the University of New Mexico and involved major labs including Los Alamos and Sandia to see if the hum could be measured. They placed sensitive equipment in homes. They tested sound, vibration, and environmental factors. And after all of that, they couldn't confirm a single clear external source. No smoking gun, no obvious machine, no aha moment, which made the hum even scarier. Because if you can't record it, why can some people still hear it? One detail from reports stands out like a warning sign. Hearers didn't all describe the exact same frequency. Some perceived it across a range, roughly 32 to 80 hertz, and some described a pulsing modulation. That's not how a single loud machine behaves. That's how something behaves when it's filtered through buildings, through terrain, or through a human nervous system. The most grounded explanation is also the most frustrating. Local mechanical sources can create low-frequency tones fans, compressors, generators, especially at night when the world gets quiet. And in other places, hums have sometimes been linked to industrial equipment, even when it took investigators a long time to find it. So maybe Taos had a source, just not an easy one to pinpoint. But then why would hearers describe it differently from one person to another? Another explanation is unsettling in a different way. What if the hum is a form of tinnitus, or an internal auditory effect triggered by stress, environment, or attention? Because some researchers argue the hum isn't one single phenomenon at all. It could be a mix of real environmental sounds and human perception locking onto them, meaning two people can stand in the same room and experience completely different realities. Whether it comes from a machine or the mind, the effect can be brutal. People who report hearing the hum often describe insomnia, anxiety, and the feeling of being trapped, because you can't escape a sound nobody else believes exists. And in Taos, the emotional split became part of the phenomenon. Hearers felt isolated, non-hearers felt accused. A town that should have been peaceful became a place where silence itself was suspicious. Taos is famous for it, but it isn't alone. Similar hum reports have appeared worldwide and are often named after locations: Taos, Windsor, Kokomo, and more. That matters because it changes the story. It suggests one of two things. Either different places have different sources that create the same creepy experience, or there's something about humans, about hearing, brains, and low frequencies that we still don't fully understand. Here's the reason this story sticks. Low-frequency sound can sit right near the edge of perception. Not loud enough to be obvious, but present enough to be felt. So imagine this, a real weak environmental tone exists barely there, only some people can detect it. And the moment their brain labels it as a threat, attention amplifies it. Now the hum isn't just sound, it becomes a signal. And once your brain learns the signal, it keeps scanning for it, even in silence. Decades later, people still argue about what the Taos hum really was. Some say it was machinery and coincidence. Some say it was tinnitus and psychology. Some say the truth is a mix, and that's why it was never cleanly solved. But Taos matters for one simple reason. It's proof that reality can split. Not because the world changes, but because perception does. And that's a scarier mystery than any monster. Because if only 2% can hear it, how many other things are happening around us right now that most people will never notice? So what do you think the hum really is, a hidden mechanical source? Or something inside the human ear that science still can't fully explain? Drop your theory in the comments. And if you want more real mysteries like this stories the world can fully explain, like and subscribe to Secrets You Never Knew, because the next secret might be happening in your town tonight.